All right, let's begin. As usual, try to make sure that you have 2 blocks or something similar that nearby for support, and a blanket for some nice padding, especially if you have sensitive knees. And to start today, come sit into a Sukhasana, cross-legged seated, with either left or right. And my suggestion is try to switch to the other way around. Like if you naturally goes with left, then this time you bring the right to the front. So it's in a more unfamiliar way for yourself. Sitting up does not work for you. You can, of course, lie down on your back. Rest your hands somewhere that's not distracting. Maybe by the side, on top of the thighs, or on the knees. Just let your elbows naturally dangling. Release the shoulders down. And slowly cast your gaze down onto the ground. And invite the eyelids to be heavy, but have slowly closed eyes. You might still see a lot of thoughts jumping around, knowing you'll be fine. We use all kinds of tools, the ancient yoga tools, to help us to start connecting to our attention and shift that attention to our physical postures, more importantly, to bring unity to our body, mind, and spirit. So last week we visited a bunch of yoga philosophy topics, especially the 8 limbs of yoga. And one of the more confusing one is tapas, one of the niyamas, the personal observance. Some people translate into as fire, as heat. And some people translate it into a sensible, well-rounded discipline. And I think they're all right. And through today's practice, we'll see how we can get to know that niyama a little bit better and bring it a little bit closer to our practice. So you can stay in this seated meditation with your natural breath, especially if you tend to be a person already always on the go and generating heat, moving fast. This might be a better place for you to stay. But if you feel like that to make more heat in your practice tonight, you can follow me on practicing Kapalabhati, one of the pranayama breathing practice. And if you decide to practice Kapalabhati, you can make your hands into a basket and bring it in front of your belly. Take a long inhale, feel the belly rise into the hands. And exhale, let it fall back toward the spine. One more time like that, inhale. And exhale, everything empty out. And breathe in, but only halfway this time. Then snap it out and snap the belly back toward the spine, away from the hands. And naturally take another halfway breath in. Then continue like that. Snap your belly toward the spine. And you'll string fire together. Let's do it again. One more long breath in to start. And exhale, empty everything out. And just like a vacuum, every time you breathe in halfway, then you snap it out, and because so empty, when naturally bring the next halfway in. Halfway in, and begin. Five, four, three, two, one. Raise up the arms by the ears. Take a long breath in. Hold at the top. Point the thumbs toward the back of you. And exhale, release your arms, release everything out. We'll do it one more time. And this time you can start with the arms by the ears. You can also recreate the basket in front of your belly again. You can also just simply rest a hand somewhere else. Make a long breath to begin with. And exhale, empty everything out. Halfway in. And begin. Five, four, three, two, one. Take a long breath in, hold on the top. And exhale, slowly breathe it out. Release arms down. Give yourself some nice shoulder rolls. And then switch the cross of the legs. Inhale, raise up both arms. Grab the right wrist with the left hand. Anchor down through your right sit bone, then side bend to the left side. Imagine you're reaching far to the left side through the hand. If you need support, you can release your left hand down onto the ground, especially if you notice your right hip is being lifted up. You can add a little bit twist here by turning your chest toward the ground. So you have a little bit twisting and side stretching. Inhale, reach far. And exhale, start slowly come back to center. And release your right hand on top of left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, roll your shoulder toward the back. Gaze through the left shoulder towards the back of the space. You can use your right hand on top of the left shoulder, gently remind it to stay open. But keep your pelvis pointing toward the front, so you're not turning toward the back through your pelvis, you're turning through the spine. Take a long inhale. Exhale, come back to center. We'll do the other side. Inhale, raise up the arms. Grab the left wrist with the right hand and side bend to the right side. Make sure that your left sit bone still ankling on the ground. Option 2, introduce a little bit twist in the side bend by turning your chest towards the ground. And rise back up. Reach your hands up toward the sky, let both sides getting stretched, and then release your left hand on the top of right knee. Right hand behind you, twist to the back of the space. Remember, make sure that your pelvis is facing toward the front. You can also introduce a gentle open from the left hand on the right shoulder. Then slowly come back to center. And come onto a table. Take your time to spread a blanket on the mat, especially if you have a really thin mat and sensitive knees. You can take your time to move all kinds of cow and cat, any kind of variation, side stretch, reverse of hands. Or you can also move in between upward facing dog and child. We'll all meet in a neutral table pose when you're ready to come back. Then walk your hands toward the front. Melt the chest down toward the ground. Make sure your hips still above the knee points. And you can be curious here. Introduce a little bit more heat into your practice by come up onto the fingertips, which gives your chest a little bit more space to drop. You can also bend your elbows, bring your hands into prayer, and bring the prayer into behind the head. Tuck the elbows in. If your elbows are bent, start slowly release your arms back to the ground. And walk yourself back up into a table. Step your left foot long and just walk back and forth, opening the space of the back of the left leg. So press firmly into the left heel toward the ground. Lift the back of left knee up. Then rock your shoulders toward the front, even beyond the wrist. Then switch in between them. So as I was saying before, tapas meaning well-rounded, sensible discipline. So all this trying phase that give you enough space and time to try out if some asanas works for you, makes sense for your body or not. Because I don't get to define if something is sensible for your body. And for you, if you want to know if something is sensible, well-rounded for you, you need to have a good relationship with your physical body first. And all these small movements is kind of warming up for that. And next time, Option to lift your left leg up, keep hugging your right outer hip in. And exhale, draw your left knee into the chest, knee to nose, round your upper back. Inhale, extend your left leg long. Exhale, draw the left knee in. Twice more like that, with the pace of your breath. Next time we knee into the nose, tuck your back toes and straighten your right leg and kick the left leg straight, down dog split. Keep the left toes pointing toward the ground. Keep your pelvis even. Inhale, come into a high plank. You can release your knees down if you need support. Hug the left knee in. And exhale, down dog split. Inhale, high plank with left knee in. Exhale, we extend the left leg. And last time, left knee in. And kick the left leg straight. And come all the way, step the left foot in between the hands into a low lunge. Release your right knee down. Find the blocks if you have them nearby. Rest the hands onto the blocks. If you do not have the blocks, you can rest the hand on top of the left thigh. Adjust the place of the back knee depending on what your body is calling for. If your body is calling for more stability today, make sure the right knee is right underneath your hips. If your body is calling for more stretch on the top of the right thigh, you can bring the right knee behind the right thigh bone so it has more opening there. And we spend a little bit time in each one of them before we flow. Option to raise up the arms into a classic low lunge, but it's not mandatory. And this is where the sensible comes into play. If you need support, you rest your hands onto the blocks or onto the left leg. And release the hands down, the arms are up. And exhale, pin your left hip back, straighten the left leg. Pull the left toes towards you for half split. Press the back of the left knee toward the ground. Pull the right hip forward and left hip back. And you can be curious by bringing the right hand onto the left foot. Which is going to generate even more heat in your practice, even though seems like you're not moving. And inhale, bend into the left leg again, and we flow in between. Inhale, arms up. An option, hands on the block. I'll bring the arms to the back for half split. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands back. Last time, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. And last time, low lunge. Bring the hands down. Tuck your right toes and kick the left leg back. Down dog split. And draw the left knee into the chest one more time. Step the left foot back in between the hands. And this time, keep your right knee lifted. Hands on the blocks or on the top of left thigh. Or raise up and by the ears into a high lunge. Bend into the left leg. You can keep some micro bend in the right leg if you like to, but keep the pelvis square so you can, both sides are facing forward. Find a adjusted point for you to gaze on, for you to focus, for you to train your attention. If there's any discomfort rising up in your body, see if it is sensible, it's way around the distance for you. Next, step your right foot to meet with the left and fold over the legs. And now hands on the shin or on the blocks, lengthen to the spine. Next, fold over the legs. One more time like that. Inhale. Ardha Uttanasana. Next, fold over the legs. Rise all the way up. And the hand to the heart center. Arms up. And next, side bend to the left. Back up. And side bend to the right. Come back up. Rise. Lower all the way down toward the ground. Inhale, lengthen to the spine. Next, step left and right into a high plank. Option to release the knees down, especially if you have sensitive wrist. Bend to the elbows, hug the elbows in, release all the way down to the belly. Inhale, lift the chest up into Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Keep hugging the elbows in, pressing into the top of the feet. Lengthen through the low back. Next, release down. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Press the tailbones up. You can bend to one leg and another. A rock fold into a high plank. And once you find stillness in your downward facing dog, rock forward into a high plank. And release the knees down. I'm going to do the other side. Step your right foot long. Press the right heel towards the back. Lengthening the back of the right leg. And shift the shoulders beyond the wrist. Then switch in between. Next time when you're back to center, option to lift up your right knee. Hug the left outer hip in. You probably had a tendency to lean toward the left side. And draw the right knee into the chest. Knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen to the right leg. Now exhale, draw the right knee in. Twice more like that. So physically, we're all different. So you might have different anatomical limitations than I do. So this kind of practice is where you get to establish a relationship with your body so you know what asana practice is sensible for yourself. When you're done with next lengthening of the right leg, tuck the left toes and straighten the left leg, come into a down dog split, extend the right leg long. And draw the right knee into the chest, into a high plank, option to release the knees down. And kick the right leg long, down dog split. Exhale, right knee into the chest. And down dog split. Last time like that. And step the right foot in between the hands, release the left knee down. Hands on the blocks or on the top of the right thigh. An option to raise your arms by the ears into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Different side can be different stories, so you chose again how you want to adjust the position of your left knee. when you start to be ready for flow, release your hands down, straighten the right leg, point the right toes, pull them towards you into a half split. You can also bring the left hand onto the right toes just to encourage it to generate a little bit more heat. And bend into the right leg again. Your hands can be on the blocks this whole time during the flow. Low lunge. Next, straighten the right leg. Option to bring the arms to behind you and flow like that. Next time when you're in a low lunge, bring the hands down if they're up, tuck the back toes and reach your right leg back into a down dog split. Then draw the right knee back into the chest and step your right foot in between the hands. Keep your left knee up if you can, hands on the ground, on the blocks, or raise them up into a high lunge. If you're in a high lunge, reaching to the fingertips and making sure both sides of the waist is growing toward the sky. And release your hands down, step your left foot, meet with the right, and fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. One more time like that. Inhale. Exhale, fold over and rise on empty. Into Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Option to come up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, side bend to the left side. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, side bend to the right. And come back to center, release the heels down if you have them up, and hands to heart center, Tadasana. We'll flow through some moon salute, Chandra Namaskar today. So if you like to, you can follow me through a couple rounds if I send you on to practice on your own. But if you like to stick to other kind of salute, please go ahead. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold over the legs. Step the left foot back, release your left knee down, raise up the arms. Exhale, hands down, step the right foot to meet with the left, into a high plank or knee plank. Bend through the elbows, release all the way down to the belly. If you like to, lift the chest up, you can straighten both arms, lift your pelvis, lift your knees away from the ground into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. On an exhale, press your tailbones up into downward facing dog. Step the left foot to the left arm, release your right knee down, raise up the arms, and the hands down. Step your right foot to meet with the left, and rise all the way up. And hand through heart center, that's half round. We'll do the other side. Arms up, and fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Next, step the right foot back this time and release the right knee down. Raise up the arms and hands down. Step the left foot back into a high plank or knee plank. You can always release with other kind of round back and up and back bend. Bend through the elbows. You can also stop halfway, and then inhale. Directly pull into upward facing dog. Then exhale, we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward. Release the left knee down. Raise up the arms. Bring the hands down, step the left foot, meet with the right. And rise all the way up. And hand through heart center. Flow one more round on each side together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold the legs. Inhale, lengthen to the spine. Exhale, step left foot back. Release left knee down. Both arms up into Anjaneyasana. And exhale, hands down. Step the right, meet with the left into a high plank or knee plank. Take a long inhale. Exhale, bend to the elbows. You can come into Bhujangasana. You can also pull directly into upward facing dog. Then we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Step your left forward. Release your right knee down. Raise up the arms. And step the right foot to meet with the left. Rise on empty. And hand through heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, follow the legs. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Next, step the right foot back. Release the right knee down. Hold the arms up. And hands down. Step the left foot to meet with the right. Bend to the elbows. Inhale, come into back bend of your choice. Next, press your tailbones up. Step the right foot forward. Release the left knee down. Bring the arms up. And hands down, step the left foot to meet the right. Rise all the way up. And head through heart center. Float one more round on your own and use that space and time to practice your mind to decide what is sensible and where around the discipline for you. And I'll explain through the flow. So even if we have a really good relationship with our physical body, but we can not necessarily we are fully armored to decide what is a good discipline for us. Because our mind is not always telling us the truth. Sometimes when it's something you can easily do, somehow your mind is telling you to back out, to say that you are not good enough for this, you're not equipped enough for this. And sometimes you might not in the best condition for doing certain things. But your mind might be asking you to give it a try or power through it. Simply for some silly reasons. Maybe you seeing someone on social media posted a fancy picture of a asana practice and made you want to do that too. So on top of establish a relationship with our physical body to help us to practice well-rounded sensible discipline, more importantly, we need that kind of relationship with our mind as well. To know when to listen to it, when it's time to give it a little bit doubt. If you're still flowing, take your time. We'll all meet in an intentional Tadasana at the front of our mat. So once you arrive at the front of the mat, I would say bring the blocks tallest height in front of you. And draw your left knee into the chest. You can interlace your hands underneath your left knee. An option to kick the left leg forward. Find an adjusted point for you to focus on. And remember that point because you're going to need that to anchor yourself through the rest of the flow. Rebend your left leg, step the left foot down. Hands on the blocks, you're kind of in a tall table. Your hips above your ankles, your shoulders above your hands. You can stay here. Option 2, kick the left leg up into a supported warrior 3. One more long breath in that warrior 3. And exhale, land your left leg down. You can come hands on the blocks or raise up the arms into a high lunge. One long breath in. And exhale, open your arms to the side into a twist. Inhale, lengthen through both arms. Reach the hands toward the opposite direction. You're revolving through the spine, remember. And exhale, both arms up. And the hands on the blocks. Stepping back into a supported warrior 3. Then step left foot down. And fold over the legs. Fun, right? So we're gonna try the other side, then we start flow through those. Standing strong to the left leg. And draw the right knee into the chest. You interlace your hands underneath your right knee. And find the same adjusted point for you to gaze on. An option to kick the right leg long. And remember, when I say option, that's a place to check in with yourself. Are you trying to make your practice sensible and well-rounded? Explain it for yourself. Bend your right leg and step the right foot back. Hands on the top blocks. And lift up your right leg. Lengthen through the spine, reach the crown of the head toward the front. Take a deep inhale. Press the right heel toward the wall behind you. And exhale, lower your right foot down. Hands on the blocks, you can move the blocks with you. Option to rise up into a full high lunge. If you like to lower your right knee down for some support from the ground, it's always there. Then open your chest to the left side, open the arms. Inhale, lengthen through both arms. And exhale, turn your chest back toward the front, high lunge. And start slowly lower your hands onto the blocks and step into a supported warrior 3 again. Lengthen through the spine, press the back right knee up, hug the left hip in, point the right toes toward the ground, and step the right foot down. You can come into a squat, or you can come in to fold over the legs. Whatever that can help you to release the tension from the back of the legs. When you're ready to flow, come up. Hands on the blocks, we'll all start from there, regardless if you need the support from the blocks or not. Extend your left leg long. Option to bring the hands to the heart as a prayer. Option to reach arms by the ears. And then lower down your left foot, come into a high lunge. Hands by the ears or on the blocks, your choice, your practice. Open the chest to the side. Inhale, come back up and to a high lunge. Next, slowly lean your chest forward, slightly forward. And bring your left knee into the chest. An option to kick the left leg forward. Inhale, rebend it and come into a warrior three. And land your left foot down, high lunge. Next, open your chest to the right side. Inhale, arms up, high lunge. Next, airplane. Inhale, draw your left knee into the chest. An option to kick the left leg forward. Inhale, transitioning into supported warrior three or warrior three. Come up into a high lunge. Last time, I promise. Now open your chest to the side. Inhale, arms up. Next, airplane. Bring your left knee into the chest. Kick the left leg forward. Come into warrior three or supported warrior three. If your hands need support, the block's always there. Then step left foot down and shimmy your hips side to side. And also come into Malasana yoga squat. You can also come into a fold over the legs, a ragdoll. I would say try all of them to see which one helps you the most in terms of releasing the tension that you've been building up in the back of the right leg. And that's a step to establish the relationship with your physical body. So in the future, you know better that if something is sensible for you or not. Take as much as time you need to rest. What we just did was not easy. So if you're ready to flow through the other side, come into the high table again. And kick the right leg up. An option to bring the hands into the heart for warrior three. Option to bring the arms by the ears. Land your right foot down, bend to the left leg, into a high lunge. Inhale, lengthen to both sides of the waist. Next, open your chest to the left side, open the arms. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, lean your chest forward, airplane. Inhale, draw your right knee into the chest. Next, kick the right leg forward. Inhale, transitioning into warrior three or supported warrior three. Remember, the blocks are there. Land into a high lunge. The flow twice more like that. Open the chest to the side. Back to high lunge. Airplane. Kick the right leg forward. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, high lunge. Inhale, reach in, high lunge. Exhale, open the chest. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale, kick the right leg forward. And transition into a supported or unsupported warrior three. Then release the right foot down. And shimmy your hips side to side. Or come into Malasana or Ragdoll. Or can be even the child pose if that's what your body is calling for. So one of the tools I found quite helpful when it comes to see if my mind is telling the truth is similar to my work. When something bad happens, as a 5 whys framework. Just keep asking why until you get to the root cause. Same thing when you're practicing. If your mind is telling you something, you can ask yourself, why is telling me this? And after 5 whys, you probably have a good idea if your mind is telling you the truth or not. Sometimes it's obvious, more obvious, sometimes it's less. Once you're ready, come into a high table again. Kick up your left leg. You can stay in supported warrior three or warrior three, or raise your arms by the ears. Land your left foot down, high lunge. Inhale, reach into the fingertips. Exhale, open your chest to the right side. Option to bring a little bit twist and stretch in the swan posture by reverse. And cartwheel both hands down onto the ground and walk yourself to the left side of the mat. Parallel your feet and fold over the legs. And when we humans are upside down, our heart is lower than our hips. Our mind just starts shooting all those false information towards you. So this is a great place to practice on figuring out if our mind is telling the truth or not. For some of you, your mind might be telling you you might fall out of this posture and get severely injured, even though your floor might be perfectly soft to catch you. And here you can even be curious that by pressing into the palms and lift your heels up, and that brings most of the weight into the hands. But do make sure your shoulders above your hands when you do that. After you're done with playing, walk yourself toward the front. And step the left foot, maybe with the right, fold over the legs. And rise all the way up. And to our center, or to the other side. Come into a high table. Lift your right knee up. Option to bring the hands into the heart. Option to reach arms by the ears. Release the right foot down, high lunge. And open the chest to the side. And if you like to rest your left hand on behind your right thigh, reverse. And cartwheel both hands down onto the ground. And walk yourself to the right side. And fold over the legs. Carry your feet first. And here on the other side, you can do the same thing. Play around with on the balls of the feet, on the heels of the feet. Bring the weight onto the hands. Then walk yourself toward the front, re-bend into the left leg, and step the right foot to mirror the left, and fold over the legs. So, just to make sure there's no surprise, we are going towards standing split, even handstand or handstand hop for the next round. So if you like, you can bring your mat close to the wall so you know that at least you have support of a wall to make your practice more sensible, especially if you have never done handstand or standing split before. If you do not have a wall, maybe you have a person in the same space can help to catch you. But of course, you can always opt it out. But before you opt it out, do ask yourself wise, see if it's actually a sensible choice to make. So you can start with supported warrior 3. I forgot to mention, if you do decide to use a wall, make sure there's nothing on the wall that is fragile that you might kick off. You can start with a supported or directly warrior 3, arms by the ears. Lower your right hand down into a high lunge. Now open your chest to the left side. Reverse. And carry both hands down, but keep your hands on the ground this time. So you're kind of in a runner's lunge. Then lift your right leg up. Keep hugging your right thigh bone in. Hands on the ground. You can bring the blocks under the hands. The ground is too far away from you. Option 2, bring both hands to the left ankle. This is where you can stay. If you like to try some handstand hop, make sure your hands are right underneath your shoulders. And you're kicking the right foot towards the sky, not towards a wall in front of you. And land lightly, try to land lightly if you can. You can come into a child pose or Malasana for rest. For me, child pose is actually not a great counter pose for handstands. I'm going to just stay in Malasana. But just like when you did all the flow, you try out all those things, and you choose one that works the best for you when it comes to release the tension that has been built up in the more challenging postures. And when you're ready to try the other side, standing strong to the right leg. And come into a supported warrior 3 or warrior 3. An option to bring the arms by the ears. Land your left foot down into a high lunge. And open the chest to the side. And reverse. And carry both hands down onto the ground into a nice lunge. Then kick the left leg up into standing split. Keep the left thigh bone closed. Option to bring one hand or both hands on the right ankle. And release the chest down to the right leg. You can stay here. If you like to give handstand some try on this side, bring the hands onto the ground, shoulder distance, then kick the left foot toward the sky. Then find the place that works the best for you to release the tension. We'll start slowly, wind down, come into a seat. You can bring some blanket underneath your sit bones. And bring the right thigh into right foot at the bottom of the right foot to the left inner thigh. And turn your chest to the right knee first. Then walk yourself to frame the left leg with the hands and chest towards the left leg. Lengthen to the spine first. Next, exhale, reach your spine toward the front until you reach the sticky point that you cannot go forward anymore. Then round your upper back. Option to hold the left foot, Janu Shirshasana. Head to knee. Give yourself some quiet moment in this posture. And if you like to come into a side bend, you can come up first. You can also grab the left toe with the left hand and directly turn your chest to the right side. Bring the right arm by the right ear. Right hand may or may not touch the left foot. And rise all the way up. Bring the right hand behind you. Swing your left arm by the left ear and press the pelvis up. And release the hips down. And the other side. Extend the right leg long. Bottom of the left foot inside of the right thigh. Framing the left knee first. Reaching long through the spine. Then walk your chest toward the right leg. Walk your hands toward the right foot. And round the upper back. Option 2, reach the right foot with your hands. You can come back up first, then do the side bend. You can also grab the right foot with the right hand and turn your chest slowly toward the left side. Reach your left arm by the left ear. Side bend toward the right leg. The left hand and right foot may or may not touch. But that's not the focus of our practice today anyway. And start slowly, rise back up. Left hand behind you. Press your pelvis up. Let the front hip be open again. And release the hips down. Release yourself down onto your back. Cross your right foot over the left knee. With your right hand, gently press the right knee open. We can stay here. If you like to bring more outer hip stretch into the shape, and draw the left knee into the chest. Interlace the hands in front of the left shin. And open the elbows to the side. Figure 4 on the back. Use your right elbow to remind your right knee to open. And release your feet down. We'll do the other side. Step the right foot down, cross the left knee, ankle with the right knee. Use the left hand to gently press the left knee open. An option to bring the right knee into the chest. Switch the interlace if you want to come into a figure four. And pull the right knee close to you and use the left elbow opening towards the left side to remind the left knee to stay open. Release everything back to the ground. Gather all the props to be near you so you have enough things for Shavasana. But before we get into Shavasana, set the feet close to your hips and lift your tailbones up and slide a block underneath your sit bone. Supported bridge pose. If you feel like you have a lot of energy to burn, you can come into an active bridge pose, but I do suggest to watch out for overheating, especially if it's kind of a warm day. And we've been doing some challenging flow. This is often time where our mind triggers again, and you can do more. You should do even more, even though your body might not be ready for that anymore. If you're ready to rest, lift your tailbone up, slide the block away, and extend the legs long. If your eyes not closed yet, start looking for a place for you to shift your gaze onto. And even close your eyes. Savasana. If you're ready to come out, start wiggling your toes gently. Move your knees side to side. And roll onto one side and support yourself into a comfortable seat. And I hope this practice brings you a little bit closer to well-rounded and sensible, disciplined practice for yourself. And get a hand in front of the heart. We take one last long breath together. Deep breath in. And exhale, let everything out. And bow your head toward the heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me tonight. I hope you enjoy the rest of tonight. When you're ready, slowly blink open the eyes.